Welcome once more to the inner sanctum that is YCHYUS. And I got my usual reprobate co-hosts, Darren over there and Rodney, of course. Hello.
Right.
But more importantly, we have a very special guest today. None other than it's only Toby fucking Russell. All right.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is.
All right, boss.
The legend,
Hello,
yeah.
boss.
Always a
You know it.
pleasure to have Toby on. Because he's the man who brings the knowledge.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Nah.
I don't think he can help himself. I think if you try to have a chat with Toby, he would accidentally drop some gem of wisdom. That's what he does.
Wow.
Only does it by accident, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not
Gem
forced on
dropper.
you. I just can't help it. It's sort of like
So today specifically, we're going to be talking about Godfrey Ho at Asso Asia, I think is probably the best way to frame it. Gonna focus on the Dragon the Hero, Raiders of Buddhist Kung Fu, and maybe talk a bit of Blazer Ninja. But first I'll explain why, and also kind of why I made a bit of an error, which is understandable because these things are the information's coming in drips and drabs all the time, right? Things are we're figuring out the landscape as we go. Well, most of us. Toby already knows a lot of this stuff, but for the rest of us fans, it's drip-fed information, isn't it?
yes.
But so, having seen a lot of the Asso Asia stuff, and we'll be getting into this more, so you can correct me later on now, Toby. I'm sure I'm going to say a lot of misinformation, but save the corrections for the minute, so I'll just explain from the get-go what my starting point is before we sort it all out. So my understanding is that there's a whole bunch of films, mostly out of Korea, that were released via Asso Asia in English dubs throughout the world, right? And they were often given the Godfrey Ho director credit, right? And I suppose the perceived wisdom is either he actually had fuck all to do with these films and they just put the name on, or that he was actually in some capacity, some sort of assistant director or something like that. And therefore, a lot of the films, when you look at them on the Hong Kong movie database, have two director credits, right? Usually someone Korean, like a Kam Ki Nam or someone like that, and Godfrey Ho, right? But there's one, the Dragon the Hero, which seems to be Godfrey Ho all the way, right? And until recently as well, Raiders of Buddhist Kung Fu also had just the Godfrey Ho director credit at the Hong Kong. But now that's since changed since I had the idea of doing this show. So that might. So the working hypothesis is that either he had nothing to do with these films or was only there in some sort of apart from maybe the Dragon, the Hero. So that's what we're going from. So tell us, Toby, how wrong are we about all of this?
Well, he didn't direct any of those Korean pictures, but I think he might have done the English translation because he was working at Asso Asia, but he didn't direct those pictures because some of them are quite old. Like Mission Inferno, he's credited that, but that's a very famous Korean War movie, and he would have no business doing that. And I asked him once, he went, "Oh yeah, oh those, yeah," and he sort of brushed it off. But it's for sure he didn't direct the Korean pictures. They're done by Korean directors and Korean production crew, unless it states, like something like Secret Rivals, which is a proper Hong Kong film, or Shaolin Plot. But all those Casanova Wong films, Dragon Lee films, they're mostly done by 3 or 4 people. did them all. And then Joseph bought them, and then they just stuck Godfrey, because actually he wasn't really, in that time, Korea was quite a closed off place, and they didn't even want their films to be sold outside. And people
Oh
like
wow.
Joseph, he shot pictures up there, and he thought this is a bit of a waste. We want to buy some of these films, so they said, "Oh, you can buy them, but you can never say you can't buy Korea. You can buy everywhere else because they're like national treasures to them."
Mm.
So that's
Oh,
what Andy just sort of, he bought the negatives and redubbed them, edited them out, or put some extra fight scenes in, as in the case with Blazing Ninja. But they're all Korean local productions, and even most of the action is done by Korean people, unless it states otherwise. You can find it on the Korean movie database. If there is a Chinese actor director, they'll list it, or a Chinese director, they'll actually list it. Like I wasn't sure about, for Raiders of Buddhist Kung Fu, for example. I knew it wasn't Godfrey's direction, and you can look. There's like 200 publicity photos and behind the scenes on the Korean movie database, and you won't find him there. But I couldn't also find the credited action director, Lam Hak Ming, who works for the Pops and Samo. So he choreographed that film, but there's no,
Oh, right.
according to the Hong Kong movie database and Joseph's press book. But I couldn't find any pictures of him doing it. But it's highly likely he was there, being a sort of Lau Brothers person. Gordon Liu might have said, "Yeah, I need him to help me with the action." So, but yeah, they're not really Godfrey Ho films, any of those. But he may have done the English translation because he's an English
right.
teacher. Uh, he's good in English and he knows how films work, and he may have trimmed bits out. Yeah, being a staff member at Asso Asia, we'd have to do that.
Mm.
And yeah, that's basically it, really. They're Korean productions that Joseph Lai bought. And the Raiders one, Raiders of Buddhist Kung Fu, that company, he bought nearly all their films except for Shaolin versus Tai Chi and a couple of others, but he like Magnificent Duo, Godfather of the East. He bought all of them. And that same company made Drunken Monk, Raiders of Buddhist Kung Fu, what is it? Fury and Shaolin Temple, they call it, don't they? And Raiders of Buddhist, the three Gordons. So whether
Right.
they con Gordon to do one film and said, "Oh, now you're here, do you fancy doing a couple more?" We don't know, but it's quite possible. I know they're like that. They conned him in with one. Brought Sleeping Wizard. Thought, yeah, we'll make a wicked film. And well, while you're here, do you want to fancy doing a couple more cheap ones? And you said, cash in hand, I'll do it. I don't know how it came about, but there's the same company did all three of the Gordons,
I
and
think that
they
thing
directed.
you're talking about while you're here, we can call that the Corfei effect, right? That seems to be very much a,
Yes,
a Corfei
yes, and
thing
they
as
did.
well, right? Oh, while you're here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he does things like that. And they actually patched Kofi into Furious Shaolin Temple, didn't they, in the Hong Kong print? There's some fights with Philip Ko, which they're not in
Yes.
the
Yeah, he
Korean.
is in there,
Oh,
yeah.
They
right.
patched him in. Philip's always good for patching in. He's a great patching man. So and he's a friend of Godfrey's. So he's the go-to patching man. Yeah, he's very good.
So
Yeah, they don't care.
that's fascinating. I mean, a lot of interesting things. Let's go one by one. The thing about the Koreans almost um reluctantly exporting I mean,
Well, they'd be
historically,
shot.
yeah.
There would
Well,
be there's a high crime to let. It's like antiques in China. You're not
right.
really supposed. These that belong to the country, and they kind of figured a way. The first man who started doing this kind of dealing was the guy that Kim Jong Il kidnapped. That Shin, the
Oh,
director
Shinsanok.
Shin.
Oh, yeah,
So he
yeah.
was the first one to do the what do you call cut and pastes. So he'd buy a Shaw Brothers and say, "Well, we can't really show this, but we'll film a load of scenes here with my wife and my friends. And we'll patch it up and release it as a Korean." So he was the first to start doing that and thinking
Interesting.
how we can get around these laws and sell it back to Hong Kong. And he was quite an innovator for that. And then Joseph just thought, well, these films are going to waste up here. Why don't we just buy some of them? And they're like, oh, I don't know, we could get into trouble there, Korean. And he said, no, you keep Korea and we'll take that. And he used to exchange, because Korea was very closed in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
He used to bring film stock for their trade. Like he'd say, "We'll bring you the film stock to film your films," because they'd smuggle it in. Maybe Godfrey, that was his job,
That's
bringing film.
excellent.
We don't know, but they'd bring in the film stock to use there because it was almost like a third of the price. So there was all kinds of schemes that they were doing, and they'd bring a couple of stuntmen in. Maybe they were carrying the film for all we know. We don't know, but the ins and outs of the way they got those films made is quite interesting.
Oh, it's fascinating. It's something I've been looking into just recently. And so while we're on the subject, I'll ask you something actually, because this came up in another show, and we were going to ask you about it. It was a working theory that I had. We're doing this series on hopping vampire films, and we were talking about Thunder Kids 3, the Devil Boxer one, right? Which
Oh
seems,
yeah,
yeah, which seems to be, well, there's a lot of like the film that ends up being Scorpion Thunderbolt, right? There's a lot of these Korean films that seem to be weirdly, people have pegged them as Korean Taiwanese co-productions, right? But I was thinking about it when we were talking about it on the show. It seems ridiculously kind of expensive and like very unlikely that people would go and shoot. So I had this working theory that, let's say, for instance, Thunder Kids Golden Adventure, right? Which is based on the Korean vampire and E.T.
E.T.
kid.
film.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
is there like a double cut and pasting? Is there like a thing where maybe Korea already did their own cut and paste version of a Taiwanese
Yes,
film? And that is
exactly.
that exactly what happened?
What happened? The producer of that film is young master, that big idiot, and Stony Egg, and he flattens the other guy, the one with the bald head.
Right.
He often plays Bronzeman. He's the producer of that film. He's in the film,
Ah,
and
yes.
to get his costs down, Ma Chiang he's called. All right.
Right.
He's a real hard case, actually. They call him Taiwan Beetle Nut. That's his nickname, Taiwan Bing Long. And he's a real hard. Once I saw him in the street, and he goes, "What you looking at, mate?" I said, "You're the guy." And then he said, "Yeah." And he come over to me, the full face. And I was like, "Easy, mate." I'm a fan. I'm not looking for a fight. But he produced the film to get his costs down. They'll Koreans will say, Korean will say, "Well, we'll bring a couple of actors, like the girls are Korean. One of the girls is Korean in it, and it's maybe a couple of guys, and that way they can fulfill the Korean release quota and tax free, because they can say, oh, it's a Korean film, we've got Koreans in it, and so that he gets his costs down because they give him some money and then some actors, and then it's cheaper for him to shoot it, and then they'll shoot extra scenes possibly." And for their version, and then he's got his version. When he's done with his version, he sells it to Joseph, who makes his version. So yeah, there's a lot of these films have three versions.
Madness.
And even for Death Cage, we had Korean actors in it just so we could get the Korean money, and they supplied two actors, and it brought the cost. Brought the costs down for Mr. Lamb. So there's Korean people in that as well.
Yeah,
that's the same with the Lo Wei films. They're with Korean, and Raymond Chow also. A lot of his films are back with Korean people. That's why they're all shot in Korea, and they're basically. I mean, I went to the Korean office of Golden Heart. It's a big company. They own this film called Black Dragon River, Marshall Mates with Wong Jeng Lee, and I wanted to buy it, so I went up to the office. And it's a massive oil painting. I mean, it's massive. It looks like Michelangelo thing. And it's Raymond Chow and that boss playing golf. Oil painting. And I said, "Well, what's it?" Because we're basically Golden Harvest, mate. We're bigger than them even. We got theaters and we bankroll a lot of their films. And yeah, sure, like Taekwondo Strikes Up Kid, anything shot in Korea, basically, they're the governors of it. So these Koreans are quite important to Hong Kong cinema.
Yeah.
Really like the lifeblood of it. Because don't forget, they got much more people to service than Hong Kong people. The ticket receipts will be much higher.
Mm.
And the
Unlike
same
in
in
the
Taiwan as well.
Unlike in the 70s, they had the locations as well. So they've got all the temples.
Yes, that's correct.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
it's
that's
cheap.
and so it's presumably it's similar to what Wong Fung and Sammo were doing in the 70s.
Yes.
Films like Shaolin Plot and
Yes. Yeah, they're all made by this bloke who made Martial Mates. They all do co-production with them, so they have Korean versions. Some of the Korean versions they have extra footage in them.
Yeah.
Invincible Armor's totally different. Seven Men of Kung Fu is totally different. Ninja and Dragon's Den's no Sonata in it.
We did Ninja and the Dragon's Den. That Korean
that's
version's
just
mad.
Yeah. Well, they're
With
not
no
allowed
Wong Jong-Lee.
Japanese.
Well, different film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Different lead.
Yeah, no, it's brothers in it, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
And they end
different.
up in a
Hitman and
cave.
the Buddha's different. Everything's different there.
Well, it's fascinating. You mentioned the Korean movie database as well, which has become an invaluable resource recently for me. But at the same time, I've noticed they're a little sometimes they're a little bit too pro-Korean. So, for instance, there's a Korean cut of The Dead and the Deadly, right?
Yes.
I forget what it's called, but if you look it up on the Korean movie database, there's like no mention of Sammo or anyone.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
the
cheeky.
Korean
That's
people who
cheeky.
worked on it.
Well, no, but they couldn't get the quota to release it as a Korean film if they put directed by Sammo Hung. So there must be one bit in there where they said, "Oh, the Korean guy directed it. We can stick his name on it."
Yes.
It's the same with Shaolin versus Lama. It's credit to the guy that I think did like Rivals of the Silver Fox. They had nothing to do with it. But they invested in the film, so they got some. They can't put it out as a Korean film and it's directed by a non-Korean. Basically,
Right,
it's
and the
all
Korean
right,
movie
really.
database is government affiliate.
It has to be loyal to Korea, or the government say, "What are you talking about? That's a Korean film. I haven't changed it." Even though everyone knows it, you sort of just hush.
But it's a kind of worms when you're researching, because on the one hand, the Korean movie database, like when you're talking about cast members and stuff, it has the real people who are in it who are not listed anywhere else. So that's invaluable information. But like you said, on the other hand, some of the above the line credits, they're a little bit more suspect.
Yes. Yeah, and ambiguously put. But for the action director and cast, if there's a Chinese person in, like I said, correct, they will show the Chinese name, like Sleeping Wizard or Heart Lamb, as they call it, Lam Hak Ming. So they could try to keep some truth to it. If it's Hong Kong people involved, they'll let you know somehow. Of course, Jackie Chan, we know. Like Snake and Crane, it said it's the same director as the guy who did Fury in Shaolin Temple. He directed. I said, obviously he didn't, right? Or no, he wrote this. The screenplay for Raiders of the Buddhist Kung Fu wrote the screenplay for Snake and Crane,
right?
Which we know he didn't. But then it's like a Godfrey Ho situation. Maybe he wrote the Korean version for it, so he can credit himself as the scriptwriter for Snake and Crane.
Because that's the other thing as well. Sometimes it's interesting. Some of the films are clearly the Korean originals are actually based in China, but occasionally, if you look at the Korean movie database, like plot synopsis, it's totally different from the one in the or it's sometimes occasionally they did actually tell a story in ancient Korea with Taekwondo instead of Kung Fu. But it's
correct. It's a little different. Some of it. It's censorship as well. You couldn't have certain things banned, especially in those sensitive times. There was curfew still in Korea then, remember? So it was different. So certain things couldn't be said.
It's the Hermit Kingdom, right? Famous.
Yeah.
But so just going back to that time, so obviously there were a lot more of these films made in Korea than a lot of people previously thought, because they were passed off as, made in Hong Kong or whatever. So now, for example, the Korean film industry is funded by the government, which is why they have a lot of extra cash and they make some pretty quality product. Yes. So in those days, were these films government funded, or was it all independent businessmen? Or
I don't know. I think it's independent people, but they get tax breaks. That's why they need to put more Korean actors in to get the rebate they get. But
Ah,
I don't know about the proper business end in Korea. I don't know.
because the reason I ask is because once you kind of step back, because I think the way I started noticing this, like a lot of people, is just in increments, and then, oh, hang on, this is fucking, oh, that's, and then when you look back and you look at how many fucking kung fu films they were making in Korea at the time, you're thinking, what was going on in Korea? Like, why were they so productive? What is there
No,
like?
no TV. Very maybe one channel, two channel TV, black and white, poor movies. They just go and watch. They love fighting. So
So the public was watching all that madness.
yeah. Well, remember
That's
that film Brotherhood when they got to watch Dance to Drunk Mantis? Remember it's set in the 70s and they have a big ruck in the cinema.
yeah, I
mean,
remember that.
obviously,
Yeah,
because obviously there's a big thing kung fu to them. You know,
Yeah.
especially being a kicking nation. You know,
Mm.
you know, taekwondo's on the curriculum, isn't it? You know, at school.
there's
So
that film as well. What was it? It was a big hit in Korea, but A Friend, I think it was called, and
Yeah,
there
they're
was,
watching Kung in that, weren't they? Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the
They had the
one,
Kung
isn't it?
posters on the wall, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Dance to Drunk
it's a
Mantis.
bit like the scene in The Harder They Come when they go and watch Django in the
Yeah,
cinema, right? It's like
yeah,
that, but
yeah.
the
it's the
kung fu
same.
version, and yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
So it was big there, and it was cheap to make those films. So and there may be some government because I remember in Hong Kong, Kwan Young Mooney took me to a film company, and they were in the same building as Jackie Chan's office. It was called the Korean Motion Picture Company, and he goes, "Do you look at these?" And there was loads of Korean films up there, you know, like Death Fist and all them. Han, what's he called? Hanny Chol movies, you know, my Left Foot and all those ones. They had tons of them. A little boy in the secretary and thing. I got all the stills from it.
Wow.
And there was, you know, they were like, oh, do you want to buy our films? Or are they just these government men, you know, look like a front for something, really, to be honest with you. But they had all these Kongs in there, and I was like, what are these? I hadn't heard of any of them films.
So
So it's a big business for them.
so would people like, for example, if we're talking about so in Blazing Ninja, for example, the Lee Kang-jo, right? The guy who was Roman Lee. So
Yeah,
would people like that, would they have
Wicked name.
been household
It
names
is
in
good.
Korea?
Beg your pardon?
Would they have been like household names in Korea? Would they have been big kind of box office
I
draw?
don't. I don't know. I can't
Huh.
be. I know Kwon Young Moon isn't, and he starred in a lot of films. He's not a household name. And the famous one seems to be Shin Il Lung, the guy from To Kill with Intrigue, and
Ah.
Wong In Sik a
Oh, the
little bit.
villain.
Yeah, he's quite famous. I think he's a love story actor. He just happens to have that must bod in it and boob. But
Yeah,
it's
but he's got
just
a wicked kick though. He's got a wicked
yeah,
kick.
he's
So
wicked. But everyone kicks in Korea, mate. I mean,
that is true. That is true.
all kicking in.
So, going back to the very beginning then, of what we were talking about, because we shouldn't overlook this. So, what you're saying is not even the Dragon Hero was.
Oh no, definitely Dragon the Hero. That's Godfrey's first
Oh,
directorial
that
debut.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
100%.
You
Okay.
can kind of see the Shaw brothers in it as well, can't you? You can kind of see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of,
It's
yeah.
correct.
Well,
Yes.
it's interesting you mentioned Shaw. That was, I remembered what it was I was going to say now. So obviously the obsessives, they always find out the information first and then slowly it leaks out. And obviously now there's RO box sets and stuff like that, right? I wonder how many decades, I mean, even if the elements exist, when do we get a Korean Basher box set or something like that, right?
We're working on it. We're working on that.
That's interesting.
Oh, okay. Exclusive,
Okay.
yeah.
Working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I
Yeah.
bring it up is just because it is like, it seems to me like I mean, obviously not all the films are going to be able to be salvaged, but just to have one thing that makes people aware of this time and place, it's important, right? Because I think at the moment, a
Yes,
lot of
yeah.
people don't know about it, right?
No.
Not really, no.
They don't understand this relation between Korea and the wider world of kung fu films in the 70s and just how important and just how much stuff was coming out of there. And I think most people don't have it in their minds. A lot of people think Korea was almost a non-entity until the 90s, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
But they were making actually quite a lot of films
Yeah.
at a certain
Yeah, quite
point.
a
Oh,
lot.
they
Quite a
never
lot.
stopped, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
More than Hong Kong, even a lot. If you look through the thousands of films they made, thousands
Yeah.
dramas, horrors,
What do
war
you think
movies.
the
Even
survival rate?
TV movies as well. Korean TV movies as
Yes,
Yeah.
well.
loads of them. Bloody
Loads of
hell.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the
Hundreds.
survival rate of a lot of that stuff is?
Big one.
What do you think the survival rate for a lot of that stuff is? I
Well,
mean,
if they haven't sold to Joseph, the survival rate's very high. It's when they sell them overseas that they lose them. I've actually repatriated some of negatives to the Korean Film Archive, and they're quite grateful for it
Cool.
because they've got the rare film. The director of Raiders of Buddhist Kung Fu, he worked on, I think he's the AD, and a lot of the people they worked on this film called Five Fingers of Death with Lo Lee, but it's nothing to do with the Shaw Brothers. He's got a massage, long hair. He's doing shapes. It's that rare. I
this
told
is
you.
Kwak Ji-yun, right?
Yeah, he worked as the AD, Quack, and one of the other guys. I think the same scriptwriter wrote this Five Fingers of Death, and it stars Lo Lee. It
Yes.
looks wicked, mate.
This is it. I'm glad you brought this up. This is something I stumbled across. Yeah, so there's that. Is it called like 12 something? 12
Five Fingers of Death. It's Five Fingers of Death. Yeah.
And then
another Lo Lee rare.
Yeah, I told you. It's got
Another one.
to do rares.
It's
got Kang Ryong in it, right?
Yeah, that's right. That guy, the dragon from Shaolin, and
his
Fist of Hercules, and all them bits he did.
He's the guy who plays Dracula in Dracula in a Coffin or something as well from 1986, right? Yeah. No, I stumbled because that's the thing. It's very when I noticed. So a lot of this stuff you look it up. Your first port of call, Hong Kong Movie Database. All right, got it. If you go over Internet Movie Database, you might kind of find some interesting clues there. You go over the Korean Movie Database, and you find a lot of interesting stuff, but also you're sent down some fucking dead ends, and then you find out, you're like, oh, hang on now, this guy, he's apparently he worked as an assistant director. So you look up the assistant director over at the Hong Kong to find out what his name is, and you go, it's fucking.
It's a rabbit.
I've been going fucking mad this whole week just looking up these films.
I'll stay away from it, mate. I'm not going down that road. I'm not doing it.
Very wise, very wise. You will have your sanity.
Yeah, man. Rabbit hole of confusion. I'm not doing it. No.
Right. Okay. Then. So we're on solid ground with the dragon, the hero. This is a Godfrey Ho.
Solid. Yeah, that's his. They tested him out on as an AD on the Magnificent, and then what's that one? Dragon on Fire, and then they obviously knew. Then they got to trust him. Well, they'd already directed Paris Killers back in the 70s.
Right.
So they knew he was capable, but I guess they didn't. Joseph and Thomas didn't know him.
Right.
They knew him from childhood. Well, not since they're teenagers. They're all in the same college working. But anyway, they said, "Okay, Godfrey, go and do Dragon Hero on your own," and we got a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Because Paris Killers as well it's a co-directing. It's him and Kwok Ting Hung, right? Who's the guy?
Oh, he's an editor, really. Kwok Ting Hung's an editor. Really.
Yeah, he did.
He did all the leg work, mate.
He did Iron Superman, right? Which was like edited together bits from Super Robot, Red Baron, or something like that.
Yeah, he acts in that film as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's in it as well.
I haven't seen it yet because I've been watching the original. I've been watching the original show first, and then to see what the film looks like. But yeah, so it's interesting. So I was looking at his interview over at Nana Land as well, right? And he says, so after Paris Killers, he mentions, in his own words, directing some other movies in this period, like so pre-IFD, right? So I'm guessing he's talking the Asso Asia year. So, but if he's not. So you're saying he's not even like going over in some capacity as like a supervisor or anything like that.
He may have brought things there, but
Right.
I got no proof of it. I can't say yes or no, but he didn't tell us about it. And then I asked Wang Jingli and Casanova, and they said they were Korean films. And I said, what
So,
about action actors? But they can't speak Korean, so there's no point hiring them. So we do it all ourselves. But
so,
that's what Wang said.
so if this is right, would that mean that just officially as a director, and I know that's a bit of a, we've talked about this before in this genre, sometimes that's a bit of a, there's no clear cut kind of, you know, you got your action, but if we're going by the traditional kind of, does that mean that between, let's say, The Dragon, the Hero, let's say his directorial filmography would be Paris Killers, Dragon the Hero, and then nothing until the Angel films?
Well, he worked with John Liu, I know, on Zheng Kwando Strikes in Paris. He directed that. Really. It's not John Liu, and also Dragon Blood. He did that one. It's the same cameraman as well from Dragon the Hero, Gary Yao, and they did those three. They became quite good friends. And then Philip Ko also was part of that clique because I said to Philip when I interviewed him, what was your favorite movie experience? He'd go making that Dragon Blood. He said, there's only four of us there, Godfrey, me, and John, and our wives. And we had no other crew. And the cameraman, and they made a classic with no one. And he said, I didn't know where I was going. I couldn't speak English. John, give me a ticket. He said, off you go. I'll meet you in the Tenerife. And he goes, where's that? He goes, just go, just get on a plane and I'll see you over there. And he got there and they made this classic. And Godfrey's doing all the work, obviously.
So Zheng Kwando, Dragon Blood, what was the other one you said?
Dragon the Hero. And then after.
Right, okay.
No, it's the same people. Philip Ko, although Philip Ko's not in Zheng Kwando, it's the same cameraman and Godfrey and John Liu. So John Liu and cameraman and Godfrey, they're the trifecta there. They did those three John Liu.
So it would have been a group effort in a way, but Godfrey Ho would have done the heavy lifting in terms of.
Yeah, exactly. Camera goes here, John. John, you're looking this side, not that side. Remember, John Liu can't be bothered with that. So Godfrey will be doing all the heavy lifting, as you say.
Because I've never
heard that cameraman. It's in Zheng Kwando, and he goes, "Oh, John, you missed the. Your kicks are too fast. Remember, there's a cameraman. That could be Gary Yao. I'm not sure, but there is a cameraman. So maybe that was him.
That's amazing because I've never heard that. I've never seen that written down anywhere before.
Oh yeah, no, it's a known. Yeah, it's known.
Yeah, no, that's.
I think Godfrey's in. Godfrey plays the ninja guy in Dragon Blood. He's the guy with the mask. Yeah, and also Tino Wong's in two films there, and I think Godfrey Ho might have thought, well, he likes Tino, and he looks like Tino Wong. So I cast him. I don't know, a sort of alter ego figure, but he's another connecting factor there.
So we're looking at Paris Killers, Dragon
and another film. The first time I met Godfrey, which I just checked, and about 1983, I was hanging out with John Ladowski. He said, I'm going to filming tonight. I said, what are you filming? He goes, I don't know, Godfrey Ho film. I said, oh yeah, I'll come to the set. I love Godfrey. I love Dragon the Hero. It's one of my favorite films. And so I get to the set, and it's that movie called Man from Holland, but he's not credited as directing it, but he was the only director there. And it was him and a guy called John Klukin who reads the news. He's a white guy, dubs a lot of kung fu. He's a Hong Kong news anchor for ATV. He does all the voiceovers for the ads. He's always on doing. And he was there. And Godfrey, I said, oh, Godfrey, I really like Dragon the Hero. He goes, hey, sit down, watch me work. He's amazing watching him. I've never seen anything like that.
So is that, because there's two, is that the Man from Holland that became Majestic Thunderbolt?
Yeah, they call it that. But it's mostly the same film. But it was new footage, but that footage is in the original. And that guy plays, he's in his woman's clothes. And I just thought, this is madness, John. He goes, yeah, it's Godfrey.
That's the one in the new footage. There's it might be in the old, there's the he has a woman in like a wicker basket on the beach.
Yeah, that's
And-
it. Yeah. So is that in the new version only? Is that in both versions?
I think I know it from Majestic, I think. Yeah, but it might be in the original. I don't know.
So
Because
maybe he only directed those scenes, but that's the first time I met him. And so then
that's
he
interesting.
was he's definitely directing that because I watched it, you know. So
Is that the
he's
same
probably
film?
doing loads of little bits.
Is that the same film with Chen Sim like having a real life scuffle? Is that the same one? There's a
No,
fight scene
that's
like it was a real
Jumping
fight.
Oh, that's
Ash.
the other Man from Holland.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
jumping. Oh, I was getting mixed up.
Yeah,
That
Jumping
looked
Ash.
real.
That was a
Yeah,
classic.
yeah.
That was
So-
the hat, the sleeves, isn't it?
That's right. It'll be messy. Yeah.
So while we're sorting out the wholeness of it all as well, so obviously the IFD period as well. So you have all these films, and you've got the ninja bits, the Caucasian ninja bits, your Richard Harrisons and stuff like that.
Yeah, he directs all of those bits.
He
Well,
did,
not
did he?
all, but some of them. Yeah, not all, but some.
Right. But he definitely
sure.
was there filming some of
Yeah.
that stuff in the new
Well, I wasn't there,
territories
so I
or
can't
whatever.
say. I know from that one because he.
Right.
And I've seen still production stills with some of them ninja films, and he's there. You know, he is there. So I don't doubt that at all. But then, of course, Philip Coe, he'll just take over because he and I remember I made a film with Godfrey called Angel Mission.
Angel's Mission
Ocean
you're in.
movie.
Yeah. You have an Uzi
Yeah.
in it. Yeah.
And then Godfrey was directing it, but actually, Philip just took over it. And Godfrey said to some, "Hey, stunt guys, can you relax?" They went, "Yeah, all right, mate." It was like a rowdy classroom, you know, with a supply teacher. They're like, "Yeah, all right, Godfrey. Yeah, if you say so, mate." And they're just ignoring him playing. I don't know, one had a keyboard, and he was playing during the time.
That's a funny film. I remember the first time
And they're
watching
all
that.
high, and they're all smoking dope and everything, and it was just chaos, man. But they, you know, when Philip said something, they all jumped, "Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Right."
I remember watching that, and you turned up, and I was like, "Oh, Toby's in this." I had no idea.
I
And
tell
it's,
you want to cover that. You want to cover that one, are you, Toby? On that one?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it was, yeah.
you want a
Bad,
sleeve
man.
of that?
oh really?
Yeah,
Oh wow,
it's on the sleeve. Yeah.
that's funny. It's got weird bits in it like that. So I remember there's like a bit where there's some guys. They're supposed to be like hard cases, like hanging out, but they're freaking out because they've got watermelon juice. Oh, watermelon juice!
Yeah, those were
What
the
the
guys, the freaks. They were the guys who were uncontrollable, but they're all the Shaw Brothers action mob. You know, I'd seen them all at Shaw's. They're the proper Most C. But they
It's
were just like, we just do what we want, mate.
it's a lot of fun, that film.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun doing it, but they blew my ears out. I couldn't hear for a day and a half.
Speaking of very briefly, I know you don't like to talk about it, but just to, speaking of your credits, are you one of this? Because your credit is one of the Santa Claus jetpack Santa Clauses in when
Yeah,
is
I've been
it
in the
Aces Places
jetpack.
4?
Yeah, I was in
Wasn't
Aces. Yeah, I was in
That-
two scenes.
Is that
Up
you?
at
Is
the
it?
end. Yeah, I'm in there. I'm one of them.
Oh, okay, because
Santas.
I was watching it, and I was even watching it in Blu-ray, and it's difficult to make out for sure.
You
So-
can't tell. All the Santas look alike. We had a guy look just like David Hemmings in there. And Nick, my friend, he was a copper. But I don't know, because Troy Hart come up to me and he goes, "Oh, I like his eyebrows, they're better than Sam's." He goes, "Sam, go and change eyebrows with this lad." So I got to speak to Sam in the makeup chair.
That's
It was
excellent.
great. Yeah, it was great. But he wasn't happy at the end. I turned up as a CIA man. I was 18 or 19 at the time, and Joy Hart blew his stack. "What's this child doing here? Put him at the back." I got really angry with the agency people. And you don't bring children to my set, you know.
So the Dragon, the
Yeah,
Hero,
not
then.
that one. Yeah, Dragon Hero.
Watching this again, Taiwanese production, right?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Oh, Hong Kong. Yeah, I don't even think the film's shown in Taiwan. I'm not even sure it's been released. I know on video it was, but I don't know about theatrical. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Couldn't find
Okay.
any posters.
Yeah, no, I think when I originally saw this back in the day, I kind of didn't really appreciate it for what it. I just, but watching it this time,
I loved it.
yeah, it's fucking hell. It's a weird film. Like it's a properly strange fucking.
Yeah, it does. It's its own
story.
genre, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was exactly the same, Clive, because I saw this and kind of forgot about it. Kind of remember it, but didn't remember the detail, you know. So, oh yeah, that's one of the Dragon Lee things or whatever, you know. And yeah, but coming back and watching it again for this, it's like, oh, hang on, there's some batshit stuff in this.
And great dubbing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the intro when he goes, a priest called Shaolin.
Yeah.
That's
Who
what he
is?
said, didn't he?
Yeah, but who's the priest though?
Thomas
priest,
Tang.
Thomas Tang. Yeah.
Is only on-screen credit, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked good sitting
There might
down
be,
doing nothing.
no. Joseph and Thomas, I think they're snowmen in the beginning of Magnificent. They said they were hiding in the snow. They burst out of that thing. And Captain Overett decks them, or Chen Sing throats them. I can't remember, but they're in there apparently.
Okay, cool.
So the other thing is, I was thinking about, I'd never thought about this before, but watching it this time, it's got one of those classic, style, shapes going on with a primary color background. In this case, bright red.
Yeah.
And this is the first time it ever occurred to me, but I was like, where the fuck do you find an all red room? Like, to go out of your way to make an all red room or all, it's quite a thing. You wouldn't normally find a set like that anywhere, right?
Well, you have to paint it.
Yeah, but it's always red or black, though, isn't it? Have you noticed that?
Well, they're all white. They're the best colours.
White, red or black.
Worry about it because it's either red or white. Don't bother any other colour. That's what he told
me. But it looks watching it in HD. It looks carpeted though. It looks like it's carpet up and down the walls rather than paint.
I think it's painted because I've made one my own in front of red. And I said to Robert, I need it in front of red. He goes, oh, no problem. I'll have that ready for you in no time. And it was ready like in hours. The whole thing red, like it was massive.
Because you've got to do a few
courts. They're so used to it. They've made so many of them. But sometimes you get a cheap production like Judah 7 Tigers, where they'll go to a gym, right? And they'll put red lights on the wall, and who cares if it's Cliff Lock doing shapes? We don't care where he is.
Don't care about the background,
yeah, exactly. But the idea is the same in front of red, white.
But everyone loves interesting. It's because for such considering how many of these things are quite low budget productions, and sometimes they don't give a shit about this detail or that detail, but to actually, paint an entire room red or whatever, it's an undertaking, right? It always strikes me as a thing to do.
That's the cheapest set you can get me.
That's cheap, but it's labor intensive.
Right? No, it don't take long, man. Not out there. Maybe in England where you get, cowboy builders charging you £500 a tin. But Hong Kong, give me 50 quid, I'll do the whole thing for you in half an hour. All right, yeah, off they go. They've run 20 minutes there. And it's done by lunch.
That's it, like it needed to be done, that's why.
They got 1 year, they got 1 year to get to the top, don't they,
They
needed to be done.
They're proper builders. In China, they'll build you a city in a week. So,
that actually rings to, even here now to a certain extent. You'll be walking down the street and there'll be a building like draped in like blue tarpaulin or something.
Yeah.
And then you'll walk past it a week later and there's a new fucking block of flats.
Exactly.
Like, what? Yeah. How did they do that? That's insane.
Yeah, exactly. In England, it'll be years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hong Kong and China, Japan, weeks.
So Dragon Hero. See, so very, very basically, there's got John Liu and Tina Wong being taught where it changes it's either smashing heart or smashing rock or smashing stone.
Smash rock fist, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a great name for technique. I love that.
And then they swap the babies, right? That's the idea. So they learn the other person's heritage, style. 20 years later, and basically the backdrop is some corrupt officials in league with Jim James and Alexander Grant for selling like antiques.
Antiques techniques.
antiques, and also Chan Lao, who this is a great showcase for Chan Lao, I think.
No, it's his best. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, he's
In
fine.
his-
Premiere of the Dog Star, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In his
I
wheelchair.
find,
with
I
his-
find that I find that guy really vile. You know, I've got issues with that guy.
Oh, in this
Because
he
of that
is
film.
horrible.
He's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's because of that film.
Yeah.
And he likes to watch people fight. He pays them to fight. You get a
Yes.
brief Bolo Young cameo,
Yeah, right.
and
Was he
then
doing some ape technique, wasn't it?
yes, he's
doing?
he's
Yeah.
referred
He's
to as
doing
a
like this
monkey.
gorilla thing, wasn't
He's
he?
got
Yeah.
hair on his chest. They've added hair to his
Yeah.
chest as well, hasn't it?
And on his feet as well.
And it
Yeah.
thunders when he walks. Boom, boom.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, yeah. Wicked.
So, yeah, he's and he's only in it. He's less than 5 minutes, I think. He's there.
Yeah,
It's Bolo day out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. He's got other films to do, isn't he? So yeah.
Yes. So and Chan Lao's main henchman, you got Kofeng, right? Kofei,
Okay, Philip.
and I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand exactly what the deal is with him setting up these fighters, and then he goes and seeks them out later, including Mars is one of them, right? And kind of kills them, and he's got his sand timer. I don't really understand that, to be honest.
That's a good gimmick, though.
It's a good
I
gimmick.
enjoyed the
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
egg timer. What do you call it?
Egg
Sand
timer.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, like a no. There's a name for it. I can't
Hourglass.
remember.
Hourglass.
Hourglass. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So was that done before My Life on the Line then? This bit was that done
I
afterwards?
think it was. But there was a stopwatch, My Life on the Line, wasn't it?
Oh, so
Yeah.
it wasn't the
Oh,
sand
okay.
thing. Okay, but similar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Similar
idea.
gag.
Yeah.
So
But I think he just collected kung fu stars, and he wanted to, you know, as his mate, his head of security. He thought, well, if that floats your boat, collecting kung fu stars, why not? Because he was a
Yeah.
collector of stars, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he seemed to know
used them
everyone's
all at the
technique,
end.
didn't he? Yeah, he seemed
Yeah,
to
he
know
uses
everyone's
them all at
technique.
the end. He got
Yeah,
the leopard
yeah.
fish guy, which was Lao Tin, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
and he does that at the
Mantis.
end. He does a bit of tiger claw from the first guy, and he didn't do the ape, mind. You probably thought that wasn't worth using. And
Yeah,
then he
one
was
was the guy from
developing his own.
some superpower, wasn't it? Was one of
Yeah.
the guys from Superpower, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
the son.
Lao Tin Ying.
Yeah.
The same choreographer as Superpower, Tan Dak Chung.
He's in there as well,
Dak
isn't
Chung,
he?
Level.
Yeah, I
Well,
see
he
him in there.
choreographed it. He's an excellent choreographer.
he
Yeah,
also
right.
directed Demon of the Loot,
Yes, right. Yeah.
Long Road to
Okay.
Gallantry at Shaw's, right?
And he choreographed those as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And he's on like Shaolin Abbott and stuff as well, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's a high
Yes.
level dude. I asked
Yeah,
Godfrey
he's-
what he does now. He goes, he's an
Gets
artist.
about, doesn't
He
he?
paints.
Yeah.
He's painting. You know, he's a very creative guy.
Mm.
So he learned from the Pops originally. He's a Laga Leung disciple,
Mm.
and he's in loads of Shaw's bits. But you know, Kung Fu Zombie, that's one of his best.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Fantastic.
So
He's
we've
got a
also
very
got
good eye.
Dragon
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah, he puts a
Kyoryong.
cameo in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of
It's quite
Korea.
random in this film, isn't he?
Well, they just wanted him for the poster.
Yeah, they wanted a
person
Bruce
told
on the
me that,
poster, didn't they?
Because he was
Yeah,
big
his
box
character
office
is
for
just
them.
there, isn't he? Yeah.
And
He
he's
made
some
good
kind of
money for them, mate. He's a good earner, Dragon Lee.
he's a government agent, right? He's out to bust the
With
No, that's John Liu, wasn't it?
John Liu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he helped
Oh
him.
yeah,
He's
sorry,
like an
yes,
assistant.
yes. That's John
He's
Liu,
his
isn't it? Yeah.
I think
assistant,
Dragon Lee was just a work colleague of Tino Wong, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
his brethren.
They would just work together, didn't they? And they obviously got sacked.
Mm.
So I suppose we need to talk about this flashback as well, right? So the flashback.
Oh,
The best flashback in Kung Fu cinema.
The Savoy flash.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
oh,
Yes.
that's probably the most disturbing flashback in Kung Fu cinema.
I love it. A Savoy and chips, please. So yeah, Chad
The
Lau.
thing is, he looked old, but he looked older in the flashback, didn't he?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's
but
got this weird haircut, doesn't he?
He did.
He
Yeah.
looked like a really wretched opium addict, didn't he? He was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting as well is the flashback. So clearly, Chan Lau's character is some kind of weird sex pest, isn't he?
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
So there's a really bizarre scene. Look, it's almost like it's out of a black magic film or something. And Kofei is doing like some sorcery.
he's doing like a Taoist stuff.
Yeah, he's doing sorcery or something.
Yeah,
And
He
then,
looked really mad doing it.
Kung
He
Fu.
looked really mad doing it, didn't he, Philip? It was all sweaty. His hair was messy.
yeah,
That was
and then
good.
Chan Lao turns up
Yeah.
and he's eating some sort of bug soup or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Medicine, but at the same time he's molesting some woman. He's like
Yes.
feeling up her buttocks and stuff while she's giving him medicine.
Yeah.
And then he has the flashback to how when he was raping someone else,
Yeah.
his cock bitten
Right.
off by a dog.
Yeah, well,
When he was getting chased though as well. It's when he
yeah, that was good.
So what I was wondering is, and then later on he starts fucking biting people, and because of the source, I think is he supposed to be a vampire, but then the dog, and then he's called a mad dog. So is he doing rabid dog style or something?
It could be rabies. I think he had rabbit. He was supposed to be
that
rabbit.
makes sense.
I think so.
Oh, maybe.
That could be the idea behind it. Because he
But
kind of
weirdly,
phones and
it's Kofei who does all the dribbling and shit though. Like in the
Yeah.
final fight when he gets
yeah.
pummeled,
Oh,
he's
does him at the end.
drooling, and so is he supposed to have
Glenn.
rabies as well? I don't know.
No, I don't think he's got rabies. That's just an excuse. Maybe some territories they don't like too much blood, so they put milk.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
There's a
Could
few
be.
films like that. Actually, I want to say
Yeah.
that most of them are like Dragon Lee films, where it's usually like something white coming out instead of
Yeah,
blood.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
kind of weird. But, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess getting your cock bitten off by a rabid dog, that's transmission of rabies or something. I don't know. And and eventually he comes out of his chair. Turns out he's a fake cripple all along. But that, I mean, it's watchable enough. It's fun. But that final 20 minutes is not only is it like non-stop action, but everything's a little bit weird. Like everything's just that little bit strange, and there's backwards kind of people rolling off things, and I was quite mesmerized. The final 20 minutes, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, it's really something. It's fascinating. It's like I don't think I've seen it's. I mean, if you haven't seen The Dragon the Hero, you should. Check it out, and if it's not your taste, wait. The final 20 minutes is going to be worth it, right?
yeah.
What do we think?
Tino's teacher.
Oh, he's great. The beggar man guy.
We didn't
Yeah,
think so,
yeah.
wasn't he? It was like
He just appears out of nowhere as well.
like
Is
proper
he-
smoke.
Yeah.
Is he also Sam the Spliff before Rudy Ray Moore? Because he's clearly not just smoking tobacco and that thing, right? He's high as a
No, he's got like 20
kite.
spliffs on his hand.
Yeah.
And he flew on the wall, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I was wicked.
He's got he's got
He's
something
great,
in that
that
pipe,
guy.
and he's drinking.
He's will get her that bloke. I
And-
love
He
it.
plays a similar character in Dragon's Claws, doesn't he? He plays
Ah,
a similar
yeah.
role
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that
dirty
training
beggar
scene as
man.
well.
He's great.
Fucking fireballs and
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
Really
Yeah, those
entertaining.
rings, isn't it? It's those
Yeah.
rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the
Yeah,
Dragon
it is.
Hero is quite. I'm really glad I rewatched it because it went from just forget everything, and it's
Oh,
funny, isn't it?
no.
When you can't appreciate something as weird, you just don't have the eyes to see it for some reason. You just don't.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, you do. And watching it this time, I was like, how the fuck did I not notice the first time that this
Didn't
is
see it properly.
really
Man.
strange?
You saw it on a VHS, probably. I don't know. I
Yeah.
saw it in 1979 in Water Street on
Oh, well done.
the big screen.
Brilliant.
That blew my
Cool.
mind. I was like, what is this madness?
Yeah.
I was a big
No, I
John
think
Luke
it was
fan.
a VPD special for me. And
Yeah,
in the
no
90s, you know,
nunchakus, full screen, pan and scan. What's the
Yeah.
point? You know.
Yeah.
You see
When
it
you saw it-
properly.
In Wardour Street, would it have
Yeah.
been on a double bill or
It was a double bill. I don't know what. With
do you remember what it was with?
Comedy film. It's Chinatown circuit. So often it was a comedy or an old basher. I can't remember that one. Could have been Conspiracy of Thieves, or I don't know, or Shandong Man in Hong Kong or something like that. I forget. I just remember being blown away. I'd seen Death Duel Kung Fu and Zen Kwando, and then that. So
Yeah, that's
I was,
a good-
I was hooked
That's
in.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good
The
for you.
one
That's
I-
a good
Yeah.
triple.
You'd
No,
have
it
been
wasn't
Yeah.
a triple. I'd seen them
No,
on
but it's a
stage.
good-
I saw Zen one, and then a few weeks later they showed Death Duel, and then they said, John Liu again, brilliant. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
You'd have
Yeah,
been
I
no,
like
no
his
disappointment.
I liked his technique, the mysterious hands in this.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
they
like
get
the sound
plenty of-
effects. But those sounds for the hands were wicked. Those sounds.
Yeah, they were good.
Mm.
I love those sound effects there.
You
Yeah.
would have been
Well,
a teenager then, would you, Toby?
Hey, oh yeah, 16, 17.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
still at school. We're still at school. We used to talk
Yeah.
about it at school the next day. So we'd be like, wow, this is
What
great.
the fuck is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we knew we loved it. Right?
But that's
No,
the other
no,
thing. That's the other
yeah.
thing. Talking about sound effects, is the soundtrack to this is
Oh,
weird
yeah.
as well, because it's all like weird synth, isn't it? It's like
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
a lot of, they got
Yeah.
Morricone in there as well. A big gun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The standard, which goes standard with John Lew. He goes
And the
with it.
training scenes as well. Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
mention,
Yeah.
I mean, talking soundtrack, the most important thing is it pulls the Secret Rivals and it's the big gun down.
Exactly. Well, it's John Lew demands it. You know, I want that
Yeah.
music and that music. You know?
I was thinking, you know how like that Benny Hill theme, Yakety Sax, you set
Yeah.
anything to it and it's automatically funny. I
Yeah.
think the big gun down theme is like, if you put it on anything, it's rousing, right? It's
Yeah.
just,
Of course. That's why Metallica use it, don't they?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you can lift. You can lift many scenes. That one, that music.
it's
Can't it?
such a
Does lift it.
fantastic. It's I know because people go on about, and I love them as well, you know, the Dollars trilogy and stuff, the soundtrack and Once Upon a Time in the West. But I'm wondering if this might not be Morricone's
that was
masterpiece.
better than those, yeah. They
Yeah.
used it for England versus Argentina in the World Cup, I remember. They had like the
Oh, really?
build up to it,
Did they?
and that came on, yeah.
Wow.
And then England and then
It's
Argentina.
Oh,
And
rousing.
it gets
It's
everyone going, you know.
unbelievable.
It's a brilliant piece of music. And yeah, John Lew often uses it in his films.
Mm.
And you got some Dawn of the Dead cues in there as well, I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and some Argento, I think. Isn't there some
Oh, maybe that's
Suspiria
what I was-
music in there? Could be Suspiria and things like that.
Mm.
There's a lot of weird gear in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of, I think it's, yeah, I'm wondering what's the most overused. It's either Dawn of the Dead, Argento, or there's a lot of Tangerine Dream as well in
A
these
lot,
films,
does it?
right?
And IFD, a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the ninja ones, they Kane, Tangerine Dream, and Thief. You know, they came.
Someone should put on all night needle drops from IFD films disco. I would go because it's all good music.
That'd be wicked.
Be a niche crowd, I think.
Oh,
Johnny
yeah, some
Ninjas
one-
in there.
It'd just be him and Lovely John, and it?
Yeah.
Clive
Put
and
it
Lovely
on.
John.
Put on a double bill like a show a couple of films, and then for the hardcore, stay around for the IFD disco.
Yeah, it'd be wicked.
I'd fly over for that. That sounds
Oh,
awesome.
doing them,
I
man.
think that'll do well, mate.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Needle drop. IFD needle drop night. We'll do that.
So, is there anything we haven't said about the Dragon Hero, which is definitely a Godfrey Ho film?
Definitely Godfrey. It's his
Yeah.
his masterpiece. His best
Mm.
film, I think. Even
I
though
enjoyed
I-
this one. I loved it.
Yeah.
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 Well,
Loved it.
It's modern. They're pretty good. Deadly Chance. What's that one like? Lethal Panther. That was pretty good. But I think
that's
Dragon
what I was
Heroes is
wondering as
best.
well. So, if you start thinking about stuff that he had proper, so if you count Paris Killers, right, and you count this, and then you take in the Angel film and then the Man Behind the Sun sequels and the Cynthia Rothrock stuff and
Yeah,
all
he did
that.
all that.
Are we getting? Is there like any auteur theory of Godfrey Ho? Is there like anything that connects them? Because I'm thinking they're all fucking nuts in one way or another.
I think when you meet him, he seems so straightforward, like a teacher. But I think that all his films are a bit dark. Some of them,
Yeah.
a bit broken.
Yeah,
aren't
there's
they?
some madness
Lethal
in there,
Panther,
yeah.
the milk. Remember the milk and all
They're
that.
quite
stuff.
twisted, and it's worth.
Yeah, they are.
I think it is worth, because obviously there are certain filmmakers around the world that have that, like a Jess Franco or someone like that. They have this. But I'm thinking people tend to think of God, because his name are on all these films that he didn't do really, and they just think that people who are not interested in these films, they just he's like an Ed Wood or something like that. But if you actually look at what he did and he put his stuff he did and divorce it from all the other stuff. I mean, the other stuff's really interesting as well, don't get me wrong. But if you just look at
his
It's
real
actually, it
film.
is a body of work, isn't it? It is a
And he's
body
highly
of work.
competent director, you know.
Yeah.
He's very
Yeah, yeah.
competent.
And with certain kind of, like all the great auteurs in a way, they have obsessions or things that repeat or just.
yeah.
So I think he's in need of a reassessment. I think we've been a bit unfair
think
to
you're
him,
right.
myself included, over the years.
Yeah, people take him for
Yeah.
granted as just a
Yeah.
cut and paste man, which he isn't really at all. He just a
Yeah,
few
but he's a
of
good
them.
one though.
Yeah, but he's not really. He didn't do cut and paste. Really, he's a proper director.
Mm.
Just
Yeah,
the
that's
Harrison
just
cut and paste. But
that's just part of the story, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
because he's so
Yeah, and he-
capable of working with film.
Yeah,
But
and it
same
would
with
be,
Shaw Brothers.
yeah, it'd be such a waste of that experience at Shaw's, you know, AD on a couple of Chan Chair films, you know.
Yeah.
It'd be,
When
you
he got
know,
with John Woo, they were working together side
Yeah.
by side.
yeah. So you wouldn't just be a cut and paste man if you had that experience when you can direct,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
very, very good at what he does, and he can do it quick, very fast, very cheap. He just knows how to get it done his way.
Yeah, in that interview, he's talking like, yeah, when you're the director, it's, you know, you're not only in charge of what's going on the celluloid, you're in charge of getting people their lunch and, you know, getting everything else.
He's brilliant at that. He helped me on Mr. X a little bit. He shot one of the scenes at the end. There's a scene where Joe Lewis fights this black kickboxer guy called Dick Kimber. He used to drive the D train in Brooklyn, but he was a world champion. And I said, Godfrey, you know, go ahead. And because Joe wanted Godfrey to do it, he's like, I really want him to do it. And I was, all right, go. And it was brilliant. You know, Godfrey knocked it out in about 3 hours. He'd finished and he was in the film as well. He's acting. You know, I like his acting. He's like a sort of Kenneth Williams type. He's got
Well, he just looks. He looks like that sort of
he's
character.
got a condescending look about him, and that sort of twang to his voice. Yeah, condescending tone. Yes, well, I know.
He does a bit of acting. Is what's that film? There was a film came out in 2019, like a Super Ninja Kids, or it was like an American film, I think.
Oh, really? I didn't know
and they put him in it. He has a little cameo in it. Yeah. But no, I think we're on the road to rehabilitating Godfrey Ho's.
I think those that know though, really, with Godfrey people.
Yeah.
And it's a mea culpa for me as well, because I have been as guilty as anyone else of underestimating over the years. And then when you really dig in, it's really interesting. And Dragon the Hero is a really good starting point, I think, if you're interested. Like, take a look at the Dragon the Hero, forget about the other stuff, and just look. And it's madness, and it's it's a bit frayed around the edges and everything, but there's something there. There's something at work.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining.
Yeah. And it's also just you don't make
no
the last 20 minutes of that.
No.
Yeah. Without
everything in it's good. And it's non-stop, really. Keeps things happening all the time.
So seeing as we did watch it, them anyway, we'll give a little bit of time before we go. Let's talk a little bit about Raiders of Buddhist Kung Fu then. Not to be confused with Furian Shaolin Temple, which is aka Raiders of Shaolin Kung Fu, and also has Gordon Liu in it. So this is
the coldest film set that I have ever seen filmed.
Horrible, isn't it?
It looks freezing, isn't it?
Well, they got the pictures on the set, and Gordon's in his big coat and his hat, and he's freezing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Godfrey, nothing to do with this.
Don't think so. No. I mean, I could be wrong, but I can't see any reason why, really. I think they're made before they even knew they were going to buy them. I think that guy who made Drunk Monks, they will make these and then flog them off.
Because he does look young in there as well. Gordon does look quite young there.
They were made about 1980, 81.
I think it's credited as 1980.
Because Drunk Monk came out in Chinatown. That's when I first met Dave Sinclair. Because he had in Chinatown, he had these flyers. I was with my friend and we saw this black guy. Come a drunk monk, come a drunk monk, come a lead. What's he doing? brilliant. And I was this good. What can I have? He goes, yeah, come on, drunk monk, Leonard Brigstar. God, this is brilliant. And then we just became best friends because to see someone walking around Chinatown, come a drunk monk, come a drunk monk.
That's superb.
And that was the first time. And then we
You
all
met
loved
him.
Drunk Monk, you know,
Yeah.
and it just became a legendary film.
Mm.
Because they really, it's a great film. And then they made these other two back to back. So I don't even know if they were IFD at the beginning. Obviously they weren't. They just flogged it to them later when they sold them the other bits.
So we spoke a little bit about Kwak Ji-yeon earlier. If you go over to the Korean movie database, he's only credited with directing one other film in 1992 called The Runaway Boy and the Great Adventure.
Yes,
The
can't
English
think of anything
title.
about that. Yeah.
You can actually, you can find this film on YouTube, as you can find a lot of Korean stuff actually. There's no subtitles obviously, but
There's Untold on there.
there's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
Korean stuff from the 70s and 80s and 90s on YouTube. As
Untold.
long as you search for it in the Hangul, right?
Yeah.
You'll find
Correct.
loads of stuff. You could spend months and months and months watching obscure Korean stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And of course, so the other it's a Wang Ryong, right? Mike Wong is the other.
Mike Wong, yeah.
Yeah, big one in this. You've also got Kim Ki-joo, Sol Ji-yoon, who I think was the star of Lady Snake Fist. She's also in Eagle versus Silver.
That bird, yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't have much to do in this, but I've not seen Lady Snake Fist, but I think she's the star.
Very good, that is.
Is it good?
That's
good
done
shapes,
by
that.
Hong Kong people.
Okay, I have to look at
Chamu
that.
Chuan did that. Remember that? And Cooksman, they fight, don't they?
Yes, Cooks, yeah.
Cooksman's in there and he fights
Yeah,
with Simon Chan, the monkey kung fu guy. It's
That's
insane.
right.
Why that was
There's
allowed to do.
some good fan work in this as well on that one. Yeah.
Well,
That's on the list.
the funny thing is that like some of the Korean names I picked out and I went looking and these are people. There's like a guy, for instance, his name is Jung Chol.
Yeah.
But he's also AKA something else on the Hong Kong movie database. And he seems like there's a whole and you're like, who are these people? Because they're in, we know them because they're in some of the stuff that Asso Asia. But if you go over to the Korean movie database, there's all these other things that never got released.
That back guy's in it, isn't he? Back Ji Huang, or the guy from Tower of Death. I think he might have had a hand in the choreography. He's quite good, he is. So
and there's people like we'll get to this when we get to Blazing Ninja, like Bai Su Chen, and he's always a villain. He's always like a villainous Japanese guy or someone like that.
Yeah.
And he's got just, when you go over to Korea, again, just hundreds of credits.
Well,
like,
Shallowhead's in it. Han Ying's in this film as well.
Yeah.
It's the best fight, but they ruined it with the sound effects. Those squeaky. It's really annoying.
Yeah, because it was doing Snake, but it wasn't Snake sounds,
wicked
was it?
snake. Yeah, and they've got
but
these horrid
bird
sounds.
Yeah,
really bad.
That was weird. That was.
Yeah, it was such a good fight, but they ruined it with them sounds. I always wanted to redub it.
So you mentioned as well, we were talking about that rare Lowly film, 12 Martial Arts, right, from 1978. And so I was looking that up as well, and so apparently that features footage from Zodiac Fight.
No, that's different film. 12 Martial Arts. It's not that Five Fingers of Death. Yeah, that 12 Martial Arts is that Zodiac Fighters with Korean footage in it.
But I took a look at the on YouTube. You can find the Korean. You can find that, and there's not much Zodiac Fighters in it, right? This is like a little bit.
Oh, I've not seen it.
It's on YouTube.
I just know 12 Martial Arts is the Zodiac.
If you search the Hangul in YouTube, you can find it, and there's not that much Zodiac Fight. There's a little bit.
Okay, I didn't.
But what's interesting is, so the guy he's credited, a guy called Lee Hyuk-soo. He's credited as co-director on the Korean version of Zodiac Fighters.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who did that 12 Martial Arts. But also, did he work on Heroine of Tribulation as well?
Well, that's a Taiwan film, but they may have it. Yeah, that's a Taiwan. They may have had a Korean version of it,
Yeah, I think so.
but it's not the Taiwan. I think it's Ho Cheng directed it. Did all Polly's films. But I don't know, maybe a Korean print. But I saw a Korean. They just had a Mandarin version on YouTube.
Hmm.
A Korean site, not a Korean one.
What do you think? Are we ever going to get to the bottom of all this?
Of what? The Korean conundrum. I don't know.
Maybe one day we'll know everything. But for now, the hunt is on. So Raiders of Buddhist Kung Fu. Yeah, not a big fan of this one.
No.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It's a bit,
What
yeah.
version did you see? I don't know. I got really. If you see it from the negative, it's beautiful. The colors.
Oh yeah.
So it really looks like a different film. It's very
Okay.
bright, very stunning.
Yeah, it wasn't great quality, was it?
Yeah, I wasn't stunning, was it? No.
No, if you look at the
No.
VHS, it just puts you off really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it actually looks, when you see it properly remastered, it really improves it a lot.
Hmm.
Okay. It's
So-
still not
Well,
great.
except for that bird, I suppose.
Oh
Oh,
yes.
that's it.
The less,
Yeah.
the less you see about that bird.
It's still not a great story though. I think I'm guessing the
No,
even
it's
the
a bit
cinematography can't
convoluted,
rescue
isn't it?
that.
Yeah, it's a
right?
bit of a random one, this one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't like the story.
And do we know who John Kelly is apart from this film?
He's that white bloke, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
the only one. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that
No.
bootleg Roy Haran bloke who disappeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's like a fake Roy Haran, isn't he?
Yeah, he
Downgrade
was,
Roy.
wasn't he? He
Can't
was.
get around. We'll get
And
him. John
he
Kelly.
got done quite bad, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
he was pretty bad himself.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was a mess.
the one other thing I was kind of quite interesting about. So if we're talking, so this is a kind of a cheat, right? But so Blazing Ninja turns out to be I mean, totally just made up from other films, and we'll get into
It's
that.
an old Korean film, isn't it? Yeah.
It's mostly, yeah. It's Gate of Life and Death seems to be the
That-
title.
Yeah.
I mean, this almost seems like it in its entirety, really, more or less. It seems like a quite a late kind of basher, really.
Yeah. They're like 1976 films, isn't it? When they did a few of them, Life and Death Struggle, Life and Death Gates.
Yeah, it's directed by Nam Ki Nam, who did a bunch of these.
Oh, he did Luntold, didn't he?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
So it's all right, and if I had to guess, I would say the story in the Blazing Ninja version is, I don't know, maybe. So the story in the Blazing Ninja version is, yeah, it's basically the same old Korean patriots versus Japanese invaders.
Japanese
Although they keep talking about this Japanese invasion, but it's the 70s. So I don't know what invasion they're talking about. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
I do like it when that happens though, when it's meant to be one time period and someone's wearing a digital watch.
yeah,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. You
Got
ninja
flares on.
bastards is one of the lines
Yeah.
in this one. But so, and it seems to be it. So in the original version, it seems, yeah, Lee Kang-jo, Roman Lee, he's the kind of hero of the piece, I guess. Maybe so in the opening credits on the Blazing Ninja version, there's someone supposed to be Sonny Tanaka. I'm guessing maybe he's supposed to be Sonny Tanaka. I'm not quite sure, because there's another guy. What's his name here? An Tai-seop, and he's the one who does most of the fighting, other than Philip Chung. But he turns out to be a minor character in the end, and Roman Lee's the hero who everyone thought was a traitor, and he turns out to be a patriot.
Yeah.
And it seems, I'm guessing it probably plays out pretty much as the original film. I've not seen have you seen the original film, Toby?
I saw it I was in Korea, 90s, I think. Woke up at 3 a.m, put the telly on, and it was on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't know. I was really confused, like, because actually the telly was on. And I woke up and that song. Where am I? That's Blazing Ninja is in Korea. I knew I'd seen that before. I was like totally. Oh, why is that on? Of all the films in the world, it's that.
could you do you understand Korean? Could you follow the story?
No, nothing. No,
Oh,
a
okay.
little, nothing. Really. I couldn't understand a thing. I just
Right.
knew, it's that because there's shallowheads in it. So,
But it looks to me as if the story is probably similar, right? It seems to be
I couldn't tell you. Probably.
close
Yeah.
stuff lazy. But then for some reason they've decided, so Philip Chung or Chang Il-do, right?
Yeah.
Chang Il-do is in that film, as is Eagle Han as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Shadowhead.
they
Shadowhead.
decided, oh, there's not enough Chang Il-do, so we'll edit in the bits from Dragon on Fire, Enter Three Dragons, the Joseph
Yeah.
Kong film. We'll edit in all the bits with him in his Bruce Lee jumpsuit,
Yeah, man. Why not?
fighting. I think it's Fong Yao at the beginning, right at the docks.
Yeah,
or
then
whatever.
Bolo, so they can stick Bolo on the poster.
Yeah, and then Bolo, and then Philip Coffey as well, right?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Good measure.
And then even more randomly, there's. I mean, it's a good. I'm glad. Nice to see it's a good fight, but they added in the bit from the Magnificent, right?
Yeah, with Chen Sing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Chan Sing versus Casanova Wong,
Yeah.
and it's quite a
Put it on there.
brutal.
They
fight.
often use that, don't they? When they run out
Yeah.
of film footage.
Brutal, bloody
Well,
fight. That's cool. Fuck all to do with the story.
Doesn't
though.
matter. No problem.
But what I was wondering was, in terms of the Godfrey Ho-ness of it, is clearly this is directed by all the three different people who directed each segment. But in terms of putting it all together and putting it out there, they put the name Godfrey Ho on it. Do we
Well,
think
maybe Godfrey edited it. Probably.
Do you think
I
he
don't
might have
know.
edited it?
Yeah, highly likely. Yeah.
Okay,
Because
that's
So they said to
interesting.
Godfrey, we got this film. What do we do with it? And he put it in. Okay, that's
He said,
probably what happened.
we'll throw in a bit of Philip Jackson from Dragonfire. That
Yeah.
fights the Magnificent, and we'll put the Shaft
Yeah,
theme tune in it.
Mm.
Job's a good.
But again, going back. But going back to Shaw's, that's before he's an AD, he's in continuity, right? So
Yes.
that's how he starts. So it does kind of explain if he has done a lot of editing, if he has done cut and paste, without filming extra bits, then it does kind of explain how he's going to be good at that, right?
Yeah,
if that's the case.
It's
Well,
interesting.
If not editing, directing the editing,
The
directing
version-
someone to what to edit.
The version I watched had all the swearing edited out as well.
I don't know about that.
So it would just go silent for like someone you
Really?
and then yeah.
Yeah. Who's the main villain? He's my favorite angry Japanese general, that guy.
That's
that
the
guy
Bai
with the
Su
syrup.
Chen I mentioned earlier.
He's superb,
great,
that
he
guy.
is.
He's the best at angers, isn't he?
The Bobby Charlton guy. The comb over bloke, isn't he?
Yeah. He's wicked, that.
Yeah, he is good. He's very good. One
There we go.
like him,
There's a
he's
film
elite.
that never happened. Bai Su Chen is Bobby Charlton.
That would be
The year is 1966.
The original Shaolin Soccer.
The lion roars.
He's wicked, that bloke. He's
He
really
is
good at getting angry, isn't he?
Wong Jing Lee rated him. I remember he talking. He started laughing. He goes, "Oh yeah, old man, he's great." He was laughing.
It's when he shouted out, "I'm trying to get the underground," and when he really shouted, didn't he? He said the word underground. Oh,
Well, that
funny.
was that Year of the Dragon with Wong, isn't it? What they call
Oh,
it?
proper angry in that.
Yeah, he's good more, man. Good more, man. That's so
I love
good.
that guy, man. He's good at what he does, isn't he? Yeah.
He's been them Bruce Lee films, isn't he? Fist Return.
Yeah.
What was that? Bruce Shaolin Kung Fu Part 2. He's great.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's good at getting angry, that guy. I love it. Yeah.
Best. Best.
So yeah, so I think if you've been searching around for Gate of Life and Death and can't find it, I think Blazing Ninja is probably
Most of it,
more or
yeah.
less the same film, right?
Yeah.
So there we go. I think we've answered some questions that we wanted answered and more.
Yeah.
That was like I said at the beginning, Toby can't help himself. It's just yeah. So no, this has been fascinating. Anything we've not mentioned that we should? Is there any loose ends? Anything that
Well, there's
Anyone else?
one, I suppose. You know that fat kid in there in Dragon the Hero, Jung Gum, the big fat kid. You know,
Oh yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
One from one.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
in loads of stuff.
Well, you know why he's in loads of stuff? Because he told me this himself. Because his mum's a really famous woman. She's a critic. She writes stuff. She's very famous from Shanghai, but then she comes to Hong Kong. So if they put him in his films, they think, oh, his mum's going to give us a good review.
Really?
Wow.
That's why he's in all these
Like
films.
bribery.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. He's a youngest son, but he's also a really cool bloke and a really wicked fighter in it.
Yeah.
That's a whole different episode you do. That guy is a legend.
He's always funny. Whatever he's in, he's bringing the comedy usually, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
He can
just
fight.
a really
He can
good.
really fight, mate. Yeah, that's what people don't know. He's a proper fighter.
What's his name?
Jung Gum. His real name is Jang An Yao or something like that. But it's
Chang
Jung
Kam.
Gum. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't
Drunken
recognize
Master,
him, yeah.
Snakey Nicholas Shudder, TV
Yes.
with he's done a lot of ATV bits.
He's in loads of ATV, but the later
Yeah, that
ones
one with
though.
Bruce Liang one's brilliant, isn't it? The
Yeah, he's in
boxing
loads
one.
of them.
He's
Yeah.
wicked.
Rodney, well done. At the
Yeah,
last
he is.
minute, you managed to
Yeah,
slip
he's
in
got
Italian.
that.
I noticed
Yeah.
that.
Italian
with
never.
There's only a matter of time, wasn't it? Come on.
Yeah, because you got up earlier than expected, so it took a little while to get there. But
Yeah, you had to warm
finally
up.
you
I
woke
got
up.
there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's worth mentioning that he's in that film. Why would we bring him in it? Oh, and the other guy with him is very famous, David Wu. You know, they're two partners,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
He's editor for John Woo.
Oh.
He became a director as well, didn't he? Later on.
Directed pictures, spy story. Then he was in Crystal Fist, the peck off, left peck, right peck. Remember that guy?
Oh
Ah.
yeah. Wicked that guy.
So
David-
he's great as well.
David
So
Wu
those
Dai
guys
Wai,
cameos.
right?
Yeah, and he was an editor as well, originally at Shaw Brothers. And it's a great interview with him on YouTube. You won't be able to understand it. They may have subbed it. They used to take home all the dailies, so they'd give him like Wang Yu fighting some bloke, and he'd take it home and edit it. He had all this rare footage. He goes, "Oh, I kept it."
Cool.
But yeah, imagine that. He's taking them home at night, all the cuts, the trims.
That's
Well,
well.
there we
Same
go.
here.
There's a thought for a future show.
Yeah.
Jung
Let's
Gum
do
and
a
David Wu.
Chang Kam
Right.
retrospective, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, is there like a vehicle? Is there like a vehicle for him where he's the star of the show? You know of, or is he just in side roles?
I think was it Two Fists Against the Law? He was quite predominant.
Oh
in
yeah.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then ATV, the kickboxing show, he's like one of the leads in that.
All right.
Because that's all we need. We just need a couple of titles where it's
But he's
something
very
substantial, and then we
interesting.
can do a
His
show around
story
it.
is very interesting.
Okay,
He speaks
good.
an
I
Australian
never would
accent
have.
now, but we'll save it for another day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I never would have
Yeah.
thought of that. So that's brilliant.
No.
That's like, yeah, excellent.
Yeah. That's getting in deep into the weeds. That is, isn't it?
That's
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okie doke then.
All right.
Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, Toby, for coming along.
Yeah. Thank you for making the
Well,
time.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Rodney, for waking up earlier than you expected.
Yeah.
Well, no, put me off guard there, mate.
We had to wake up. Rodney had to wake up a whole 12 hours early.
Yes, he normally sleeps until 9 at night.
Well, I made it though. I made it.
Yeah, no.
Back
fair play.
to the coffin.
That's right. Yeah. Back to editing, more like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you back
Oh,
on
yeah.
that now? Yeah.
Of course.
I thought you got edit right. I got shapes
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I'm back on it now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
All right, cool,
Until
very
next
good.
time, then I'm gonna
All right.
stop
Well
here
done.
and say toodaloo to you all.
Later.
Nice one.
Bye-bye.